On today's show, we learn ways that you can bring permaculture practices into your own backyard and talk about upcoming things to do in our South Shore towns. You can get the bad news in lots of places. On the local scene, it's all about what's good and good to know. I'm Elizabeth. Let's get started. Honest Mechanic is a Massachusetts indie pop music duo featuring earworm melodies and quirky lyrics, and they're coming to the Spire Center on March 16th. The Spire's TD Bank Lobby Series showcases local musicians in an intimate setting, transforming the lobby into a comfortable lounge environment, seating just 70 lucky music lovers. Susan Cataneo and Paul Hansen are Honest Mechanic, both seasoned musicians with successful solo careers on both the local and national scene. They released their self-titled album in July of 2021 and were nominated for the Folk Act of the Year at this year's Boston Music Awards. The show starts at 7:30. Visit spirecenter.org to get your tickets. While women have always been contributors to society, their achievements haven't always been as historically recognized as their male counterparts. One project working to correct that is the new exhibit, A History of Women in Kingston, which begins on March 15th at the Adams Center. This display of historic archival materials will feature significant women in Kingston's history, like Helen Holmes, Emily Drew, Catherine Drew Russell, and many more. In addition to highlighting specific notable women, the role, history, and accomplishments of women in the town of Kingston is portrayed in exhibit materials. The opening is March 15th from 6 to 8 p.m., and the exhibit will be viewable through March 30th. Visit the Kingston Public Library website or contact Nick Katulis, the library's new archivist librarian, at 781-831-6277 for more information. Permaculture is the integration of land, resources, people, and the environment through mutually beneficial synergies, using holistic features to create a diverse and stable ecosystem. We go back on the local scene with Jacqueline Millar to learn how to integrate permaculture into our lives at home.
Permaculture and sustainable living are both holistic worldviews that are respectful of the symbiotic relationship between human beings and the earth we inhabit. A combination of the words permanent and agriculture, permaculture is the conscious design and harmonious integration of the landscape in ecological farming, gardening, and living. The philosophy behind it is to turn problems into opportunities and wastes into resources. On this episode of Your Green Space, we follow Jackie Miller of Terra Cura through her backyard as she shows us how we can practice permaculture in our own lives. Let's get started.
My name is Jackie Miller, and I practice permaculture at my house. I was also a co-founder of an organization called Terra Cura, and permaculture really means land care, people care, fair share. So at your own home, you can do multiple things that'll make the world a better place by acting really hyper-locally. And today we're going to show you some of the things I did at my house, which you can certainly do at your house as well. And in permaculture, you keep anything anybody ever gives you. So if they give you lattice, they give you parts of a fence, you keep it because you're going to use it at some point. You're going to make it into a trellis for vertical planting. So keep anything anybody gives you. So in permaculture, an herb spiral is one of the permaculture principles. This is an herb spiral which allows you to have herbs all year round. These are all perennial herbs. So we've got sage, we've got oregano, we've also got some strawberries, which will come back every year as well. So this is great to have all year round. We've got chives down here. And this is also reused material. So we've got bricks, we've got soil, and you build it up so the more arid plants are at the top and the more water-loving ones are down at the bottom. But this is a great thing to put in your yard as well. Get a couple friends, find some bricks or stones, and this holds the heat And that's why you've got such gorgeous looking plants right now, even when it's November. And again, the strawberries are ever bearing, and there's nothing like a fun, fresh strawberry in the spring. So here's the back garden. This garden's been here for a long time. So if you can build a raised bed garden attached to something, that helps a great deal because the soil's gonna stay nice and moist. You're also gonna be able to add amendments to the soil, and it's not so big and kind of sprawling. So this garden, I started to clean up this half. And again, if you have anything that's a perennial herb, this is oregano. This is gonna be great, and it's gonna be delicious, and it smells wonderful. So you can pick that almost all year round. All this stuff's gonna come down. Anything that is an annual, like a tomato or any of the sunflowers, boop, we're gonna get rid of them. This, I really like to seed save, and these are marigolds. So if you have kids or you just want something to do, you just come out and you pull off all the seed heads. And I get a brown paper bag, I write marigold on it, and I pop them in. And then in the wintertime, you can just break them apart, get some seed packages, and just pack them away. And then you're good to go for the spring, because you don't even have to buy marigold seeds, because these are all ready to go. So if you look at the amount of seeds you get out of one, it is something. So just keep that in mind. So you don't have to buy seeds if you have all these ready to go. And look at the amount of them. I mean, I've already done a ton of seed saving, but all of these are additional seeds as well. And again, here's some chives. This is gonna be fine all year round too. If you need some chives, just come out and clip it. And again, we've got sage. So any perennial herb is gonna stay in your garden all year round. Things just come back, especially if you get a warm spot. We had that, 5 days of 70 degrees. It's a plant. It loves that type of weather, so it's just gonna come back again. All this organic material, and anything from your kitchen too. I keep that big jar on my counter. So I put the eggshells in it, the peels, anything that's organic material from your kitchen is gonna go in that container, and then it's gonna go right out to your compost system. So why don't we take a look at the compost system now? So you want it to be close enough to your house that you can get there, but not so close that you just want it to be far away. So let's walk over here. So this is built with pallets, and you can get pallets free anywhere, which I love. So you see them on the side of the road. You can pick up pallets for a 2-bin system or a 3-bin system, and these we just put together with screws. So on the left-hand side, you've got materials that are in the first stage of decomposition. So this is mostly leaves. We've got the stuff from my kitchen that you throw in there, any of the plant material that I pulled out of the garden, all gonna go in there too. So it's a mixture of the leaves, organic material, and then you need water. So it's rained, which is perfectly great. And then when it gets down to a point where it has decomposed, you move it over to here. So this is like the good soil, all the compost, and look at how yummy that looks. I mean, any plant's gonna be so happy to have that around it. Or when I put my beds to bed, I'm gonna dress it with this. So you usually just put it into something where you're gonna be able to do a little shake, 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 because sometimes you're gonna get something in there. So I would shake it into another vessel, and then that delicious compost is gonna go right onto my garden. So it's good to have something to be able to do a little straining of it.
To see more of Jacqueline Millar, visit terracura.org. On Saturday, March 18th at 2 p.m., the Duxbury Free Library invites you to participate in a question and answer session with musical composer Catherine Denny, who will talk about her experience writing Connected, the musical. This contemporary piece is about the experience of a transgender teen who is transitioning, and as the show progresses, finds support from online communities and their wider network as their presentation and pronouns change. Registration is required for this event. Out of respect for the performers, attendees are asked to submit questions prior to this event. Learn how and register on the calendar page of the Duxbury Free Library's website. It seems to come when we least expect it, but part of life's process is aging, as are the precautions necessary to stay comfortable and safe in our own home. On March 14th at 1 p.m., visit the Duxbury Senior Center to join Patricia Nehill, the Director of Community Relations for North River Home Care, for the program Keeping You Safe Now and Later. Ms. Nihil will share available resources and services, some covered by insurance, that can help to create and keep you in a safe environment. There will also be a licensed social worker on hand who looks forward to answering your questions. Visit the Senior Center's website to register. From crooning Heartbreak Hotel to shimmying Jailhouse Rock, Elvis Presley influenced American culture and impacted generations of music lovers. Relive the glory days of the King of Rock and Roll on March 21st at 2 p.m. at the Pembroke Council on Aging, when award-winning entertainer and Elvis Presley tribute artist Keith Lewis performs the hits you still know all the words to. Be ready to move your pelvis as you can't help re-falling in love with Elvis and his music. Fun and free. You do need to register. Call the COA at 781-294-8220. Support local businesses and combine it with wine on March 22nd at the Inebriart and 3V Shop and Sip Marketplace at 3V Restaurant in Cordage Park in Plymouth. Beginning at 6 p.m., shop local and unique vendors with something for everyone and enjoy a glass of wine and delicious food while you do it. Visit inebriart.com for more information. Move your body, boost your mood, and feed your lungs with fresh air at Willowbrook Farm in Pembroke. Located on Barker Street and part of the Wildlands Trust, Willowbrook Farm offers a diverse natural area for hiking, including a freshwater tidal marsh. Trails and farm lanes trek you through old fields and dense woods, an area habitat for a wide range of wildlife, including several rare species that you may just get a glimpse of. For directions and a printable trail map, visit wildlandstrust.org. From wildfires, catastrophic floods, and melting glaciers, climate change can feel like an overwhelming and impossible to solve problem. If you'd like to feel less helpless and hopeless, you may benefit from the Blake Planetarium presentation, Be Gentle to Mother Earth. This March 14th presentation includes 3 educational features. The Clock Tower Project that communicates a sense of how we got here and the future that is possible if we navigate the climate crisis successfully. Climate Change in Our Backyard explains the how and why our climate is changing in our own backyards and across the globe. And Habitat Earth illustrates what it means to live in a world like ours that is completely interconnected. The show starts at 7 p.m. Get tickets online through the Planetarium's Eventbrite page. We're all a wee bit Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Celebrate the wearing of the green on March 17th at the Pembroke Council on Aging. The festivities begin with a 10:30 a.m. performance by the Petrocelli Academy Irish Step Dancers, followed by a dinner, of course, of corned beef and cabbage. This special program is limited to 40 guests at only $6 per person. Reserve your spot by calling 781-294-8220. Sorrow and humor are 2 expressions of the human condition. Experience both through the True Repertory Theater's production of David Lindsay Abair's 2007 Pulitzer Prize-winning drama, Rabbit Hole. After a sudden tragic event upends their lives, Howie and Becca are a devastated couple seeking to rediscover hope in their new normal as they also navigate the good intentions of family and the awkwardness of uncomfortable friends. In conjunction with this show, True Rep is using every performance to promote awareness of the Hope Floats Healing and Wellness Center in Kingston, which provides tremendous services and support to help those processing grief. Performances take place on the weekends of March 17th through the 24th at the Beale House in Kingston. Learn more or purchase tickets online at truereptheater.com. And that's what's good and good to know on the local scene this week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. We are grateful for your attention. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to The Local Scene here and share everywhere. Thank you, friends.